I wanted to touch on getting surgery. I've had two surgeries for cancer. In 2015 I had a lumpectomy on my left side, and then this past October I ended up having to have a double mastectomy because I've now had triple negative breast cancer twice in my life. I carry the BRCA1 gene, so I had to do it. There were no other options. It's either do it or just keep getting cancer, I suppose. And nobody wants to keep getting cancer and going through treatments because it is miserable. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. They usually, the way I had to do it, I had both times I had my chemo first, and then they give you like a 4 to 6 week like window to like rest and recoup and like kind of get everything back to normal, because like your levels are low, like your probably I think your white blood counts and things like that, like everything kind of drops from the chemo, so you have to build that back up again for a little bit. So I think I had my surgery the first time like almost like a month exactly after my last chemo, and this time it was, I think, 5 weeks almost, maybe. It was very close, like all very close together. But that gives you enough time. That gives your body enough time to kind of recuperate and get to where it needs to be, because obviously you don't want to have any complications in your surgery, because then that just prolongs other things. So yeah, after the lumpectomy, I healed very quickly. In fact, the minute I opened my eyes from my surgery, I remember my husband saying, "Don't forget, I signed you and my mom up for a 5K tomorrow." I'm like, what? Like, I was all out of it. Like, you're coming out of anesthesia, and I was in like the other room where you like get dressed and stuff, like the room before you go home, not like when you just wake up from surgery. But I was laughing because I'm like, you did what? He goes, yeah. He goes, you and my mom have to go do a 5K tomorrow. So that's what happened. I woke up and I felt okay after the surgery. Like, you're just tired really from the anesthesia. So I ended up waking up the next morning. Oh, I remember coming home and I think I ate a plate of pasta. I was super hungry because again, you can't eat like the night before, at midnight on whatever. So by the time I had gotten home that evening or whatever, I was so hungry, and I remember eating, but I was still like a little nauseous too. Oh, plus after I woke up from surgery, I had like three ginger ales and I think like two muffins they gave me. I was starving. I was really hungry. Yeah, and did the 5K. Not ran the five, walked the 5K. We did do it the next day, and I just remember I think I put on a sports bra, a bigger sports bra, and like I had a drainage tube, and I just like tucked that into the middle of the bra, and like off we went. And then I met up with my other friends later that day, and they were walking on the boardwalk, and there's a place called Whitefish Island that we go to. So yeah, ended up going there too. Walked all day. I don't know how many kilometers I walked that day, but yeah, we ended up walking, and it was fine. Nothing wrong with that. I felt fine. Everything was good. It healed very quick. I think I took a week off of work, and then I was back to work. The only thing I had like trouble doing, or like that felt like where I could like feel something, was mopping. For some reason, mopping, like I felt like a pull under there, but other than that, it was fine. This time I had to do the double mastectomy, and I did have some issues after my last chemo. I did end up in emergency with pneumonia, but it was fine. I was there for overnight, whatever. Anyway, that was neither here nor there. It was fine. I was over it like very quickly, and because I was really, I was actually very worried. I'm like, I don't want to delay the surgery, just because my oncologist was like very adamant that like we need to have the surgery like as soon as possible, just because of there was a lot of cancer in my chest wall. I guess it was going towards my heart. It was, the chemo got rid of it. There was nothing. It was gone, but at that point we didn't know yet. We don't know until they do the surgery, right? So anyway, we went for I did the surgery, and I didn't really know what to expect, because you go online and some people, like, I was watching TikToks and videos, and people are like, oh, I've been in bed for 12 days. Like, I can't get out of bed. Like, everything hurts. I still had drains in them. I had a friend that I used to work with. she ended up having like a botched surgery. This was like back in the day. That traumatized me, to be quite honest, because now I always think of like, that's what I picture. She showed it to me. It looked awful. So anyway, sorry, I was having a coughing fit. I was just dry for some reason. So yeah, anyway, went for the double mastectomy. Again, going into it, like my surgeon's amazing, and even when I had my pre-op appointments with her, I was like, should I do anything beforehand? Is there anything I need to get or prep? She's like, no. I was like, really? Like nothing? She's like, no. Like, do what you can. Like, there's no restrictions or anything. Like, I thought there would be some restrictions, because again, you see videos where some people's doctors are like, you can't, like, your arms, what happens is they take out your lymph nodes and then they cut your breasts off essentially, and sew you up, so you're kind of sewn up into your armpits. So everything's really tight. So at first you can't lift your arms. Like, you're lucky if you can get them to 90 degrees like those first like few days. So again, I'm watching videos where people are like, oh, my surgeon said not to lift my arms for like a week, like don't move, don't do anything. When my surgeon was like, no, move, like do what you need to do, like get on with your life, like move, like obviously don't strain yourself, but do what feels comfortable. And they give you a whole thing of exercises that you need to do and stuff like that. So yes, the first few days, like lifting your arms is just like torturous because you're trying to like just do simple tasks, and it's near impossible because you just physically cannot, your skin's not stretching enough. So that feels very, very odd. Also like you're, lifting and stuff, because again, they've taken like everything out of you, like muscles, like, there's a lot taken out of you at this point too. So like, and I had just went through chemo and stuff like that, so like you are just like, you're a little more frail than normal. But anyway, you get over it. You do, you start to move, like you do your exercises, and your arm, like when they take lymph nodes out of you, doesn't matter I think how many. I think your body needs to figure out like where, like your lymphatic system goes through your whole body and like drains you, right? Drains out the toxins. So I remember with my left side, I remember feeling like a pull. There was a pull there for a while, like in the back of my arm. I always felt it. But it was fine. I never had any issues after. It was just in the beginning after the surgery. This time I had like a pain like right through my bicep, and it went right down to like down my arm to my thumb, and that, like, that's normal. These are like normal things. It just feels like weird because again, like they just took whatever out of you, so like now your body's like, where do I drain this fluid? So you have to do the exercises, and I found like keeping my arm, and again, you can't even stretch your arm up, like for a while this was as much as I can get my arm up, like no matter, and I just couldn't like physically do it, like it was hard. But like now, like totally fine, the arm goes up, like the skin stretches, and I have to do this because I'm currently going through radiation right now, so I have to keep like my arm, I have to do my exercises still. So I healed quick. I had my drains, I had 2 drains, they were out in a week. It healed wonderfully. Like I virtually no pain. Like I woke up the next day from surgery and was like out walking. Not my usual long walks, but I was out walking. It was fine. Like again, this is not everyone's experience. I was just like, I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do. So I did that. I started walking, laundry and stuff. Like my laundry basket's really heavy, so I would just one step at a time, because it's in the basement, put one step at a time. That laundry basket was going up because I didn't want anyone to do anything really for me. And it was fine. You heal, like now I virtually can't feel anything. Like it feels normal to me right now. And there's also like a few little things that like I think would be helpful if you're going through surgery. I'm going to put them in the next video because I'm running out of time, but there's a couple little items that you can get off of Amazon that are very helpful. So I'll put that in my next video for you guys.